And hello, guys. How you doing? It is Wes, and I'm here with you doing a bit of a live stream this morning. Just general live stream. We're going to be talking about various different pieces of news that have come out over the last 24 hours, last couple of days. It's been a while since I've actually just done a video just talking about what's happening in the world of tech, Bitcoin, Malta, and whatnot. And I thought, why not start it off with this little bit of a live stream? So hello to all you who are watching. So today we're going to be going over a couple of topics. The main topics we're going to be covering are the latest news from the world of Bitcoin, that BaFin, the German regulator, has actually recognized Bitcoin as a financial instrument, which is some very big news over there. We're also going to be going over the news coming out of India that the Reserve Bank of India has lifted the crypto ban. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be going into what's happening with the coronavirus and how that's affecting things. And also just going to be looking at various different things that we've seen on LinkedIn. So thank you very much for joining me. If you do want to participate in this live stream, just leave your comments over there. They should pop up on my screen. I think the only platform where they don't pop up on my screen, and I'll have to reply to you guys later, would be in LinkedIn, because I don't think that's integrated at the moment. But so right now we're going from the world of Facebook, or I'm live on Facebook as well as LinkedIn and YouTube. So please do leave your comments and engage in this conversation. So let's start off with the first topic of the day. The first topic of the day is a big one, and let me just bring that up on screen. Yep, over there it is news that Bitcoin is a financial instrument, as Germany clarifies crypto custodians qualify as financial institutions. So what does this mean? This means that Germany is taking Bitcoin much more seriously. They've issued guidance to clarify the status of cryptocurrencies and the regulations that apply to the related business activities. Recommendations are based on the country's current legislation, taking into account the latest changes. So this is a very, very, very good thing. Basically, this document over here as allowing people to start recognizing Bitcoin as an actual financial instrument. This is giving more and more positive push towards Bitcoin, giving it more of a status. The definition stems from the German Banking Act, while providing this type of service was made possible by law and under EU's fourth anti-money laundering directive. Basically, what does this mean? It means that digital coins and tokens now represent a value. They actually represent something. So that means they're actually taking it seriously. This is not something that just people on the side and people who are trying to bypass the system are doing anymore. But now this is something that financial institutions can take more seriously. Germany are quite renowned for their regulation efforts. And this coming through means we're going to see more and more financial institutions looking at the entire the entire crypto industry. I'm actually over the moon about this, because again, the more people take this seriously, the more people will start to use it. I am a big believer in the world of cryptocurrencies. I think this is going to be the new way forward. Right now, we have a lot of stop checks happening. I mean, when we do a transaction, I've been involved in the world of tech and e-commerce since 2005. And the number of stops your money makes along the way, the number of commissions that go through because people are verifying who you are, what you're doing, etc., has gone to almost the ridiculous. What's happening in there? I mean, beyond the money that you need to spend on things like KYC, which sort of you still need to do, but now can be done in a more centralized source, because like this, you can have your wallet, your wallet provider can be doing the KYC for that. So basically, the transaction is going to end up costing nothing with the between the buyer and the seller. This is going to be very good for the market, and the more people who are ready to take it, even better. So essentially, according to this article, firms operating in the sector must apply for a BaFin license by the end of November 2020. And so far, over 40 institutions have declared intent to offer services related to cryptocurrencies under the country's updated legislation. Entities already work with crypto assets have until 31st March to at least express intent to apply for a license. It's not part of the actual application procedure, but they want to know what they're dealing with. So that's great news. What do you think about it? Do you think over here that's Bitcoin being recognized, and crypto in general being recognized as a financial instrument is a good thing? Let me know in the comments. Moving on to our next story of the day. This comes, it's here on Cointelegraph. Cointelegraph have actually announced that the Indian Supreme Court has lifted the ban on banks servicing crypto. So essentially, there was a judgment in April 2008. India's central bank, RBI, imposed a blanket ban on banks dealing with crypto businesses back in 2018. And that came into effect of July that year. Now, remember, India is the world's third largest economy. So if banks can't deal with it, people with money tend to be working with banks in India. And that means none of them could play with crypto. Now, basically, there were lots of public and industry-led petitions that actually were put forward, and the hearings were held over 2 weeks in January this year. And what was announced was that the Supreme Court has struck down the Reserve Bank of India's controversial ban. What does this mean, though? As Cointelegraph has pointed out, with the court delivering its verdict on the case, now it's time for the legal and regulatory climate for cryptocurrencies is just the last hurdle. Apparently in fall 2019, the Indian government opted for the delay of the introduction of a draft bill on potential cryptocurrency bans to 2019. Now, this bill was banning cryptocurrency. Hold on, sorry. Oh, yeah. So they were looking to ban it, but I have a feeling things might change, especially right now with what's happening in the world of the coronavirus. I read an article earlier today, and I don't think I have it here, but basically one of the main causes of the spread of coronavirus is actually dirty money, funnily enough, money that actually has the virus, someone's, I don't know, blown their nose or whatever, and actually has the coronavirus on it. That's passing hands, and that's changing from people, because obviously from one hand goes to another hand, the other hand then touches the nose or the mouth or the eyes, and all of a sudden they're affected without ever having met someone, because it has quite a long life. So is this a good thing? Yes, it is. I think we're going to be seeing some interesting movement in crypto in the Indian market now that there can't be the Supreme Court has overruled that ban. So moving on to what we're talking about coronavirus and what's happening in the world. I think we're going to start with this story on this one. This happened about 5 days ago, so it was like the end of February. Bill Gates, now we all know Bill Gates, Microsoft's billionaire, he actually sees the coronavirus as a once-in-a-century pathogen, which they've been worried about. We'll just take the key points that were in the CNBC article, but he actually pointed out that its predicted fatality rate is higher than the 1957 influenza pandemic, which killed over 66,000 people in the US. He hopes it's not that bad, and we should assume it will be until we know otherwise. That is something that I sort of agree with. It's not about instilling fear. It's just about having knowledge and making sure the knowledge is out there and making sure people are prepared. At the end of the day, according to the report, I think that came out from the CDC in America, they said over 60% of the world's population will actually catch the coronavirus within 12 months. And it's just about, being ready. The most important thing is that we don't get to a state where people are panicking. And in fact, we are seeing panic. Malta, I'm not sure if you know, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, as soon as Italy got the virus, or I think it was the Tuesday, Wednesday last week, we had mass panic buys happening in the supermarkets. We had people actually, just going out and clearing out all the toilet paper and things like that. I read in various different forums, even in the UK, it started happening. For example, hand sanitizer at places like Boots. They've had to put on warnings to let people know that you can only buy 2 hand sanitizers per shopper. They're trying to limit this so that more people can benefit from the hand sanitizer and things like that, so they don't go out of stock. Because at the end of the day, if you are completely stocked up and you have enough for 2 months, but the other guy can't get his hands on it, it's not going to stop the spread. It's only going to stop the spread for you. But you can still get it another way. So it's this panic we don't want to see. In fact, I was scrolling through LinkedIn, came across this, and this is a post from John Adams, he's an economist in Australia, and he came across this. I don't know which website he came across it on, but this item was selling for $120. That's 6 rolls of toilet paper was selling for $120 plus free postage. Oh, thank you very much. On a website that he found over there. Now, could this be a joke? Yes, it could be. It could very well be a joke. It could be someone who's posted that over there. But I have seen these things going around. There was this one group, it was coronavirus alerts, and the guy who set that group up was just pumping it people full of fear about what was happening and how important masks are. And then, lo and behold, he set up an e-commerce site very quickly, selling these basic masks. I think they are the N95 mask. He was selling those for $120 for a pack of 5, or was it a pack of 3? Something like that, something crazy. Or those just basic surgical masks. Those were going for a pack of 10. I think it was something like 85 euros. It was absolutely insane. So what's really important right now is we don't spread fear, but we do educate ourselves on what's happening. And these sort of things aren't really helping us. Other things that the coronavirus is affecting, it's affecting travel and it's affecting events. I came across this post earlier today from Patrick Delavive. He was one of the founders of the Next Web. And as you can see, they've had to postpone the Next Web conference this year. And it's moved back all the way to October 1st and 2nd over growing concerns of the coronavirus. Obviously, people don't want to be in big places. We've already seen the big mobile event in Barcelona canceled. There's been plenty of other events that have been canceled. I know some people are still going on with their events, like the London Blockchain Week is still happening. So London Blockchain Forum and like, for example, the City AM Awards are still going on. But some of some even larger scale events, they're holding back. They're making sure that they don't go forward with these things and moving them to later dates in the year. This will have a knock-on effect because obviously in that time of the year there were other events scheduled with the similar sort of concepts. So this is going to have effects on attendance. Like I know in Malta, usually around that time, there's usually the Delta event, which happens again in the tech space. And then later on in October, we usually see the Malta Blockchain Summit. So if we're seeing a lot of events moving post second quarter and moving into third and fourth quarter, we're going to see a lot of clashing of events, which might affect attendance. So this is something that people would really want to start talking about, because sometimes it just might be better to cancel or co-work an event rather than going ahead and having an event all by yourself. Another event that was canceled was this one here, the ITB Berlin. If I remember correctly, that's a travel event that's been canceled over coronavirus fears. It's just not the sort of thing you want to see over there. I mean, it's not great that these things are being canceled. I understand they're doing it for prevention, because at the end of the day, prevention is better than cure. And considering right now there is no certified coronavirus vaccination, you don't want to spread it to more people. So they're doing the wise thing. It's just now the forward planning, which is going to make a big difference to a lot of people. What do I have over here? Oh, yes. Moving away from this. Completely away from the coronavirus. This was a little story I found about stories, actually. LinkedIn is actually, hold on, let's remove that. LinkedIn, actually remove this, just realized all of those are down there. LinkedIn over there is actually going to be starting with stories. Now, we know Snapchat back in 2013 started with stories, Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp sort of followed. And now LinkedIn are going to be doing this. What are your thoughts on this? Now, I'm streaming live on LinkedIn, so you guys will have some feedback on this. What do you think about stories on LinkedIn? I like LinkedIn. I like LinkedIn as it is. It's not because I'm an advocate of change, but I like the format. I think adding all these new methods to post is going to create confusion more than anything. It's also going to make it much more busy. LinkedIn is a highly populated space, and I understand why they do stories. So the idea is stories are bits of information that you just might need for that second, and you don't need as part of your history, which is great for Snapchat, for example, a funny moment that you might not want to remember in 5 years' time. but maybe the stuff that we're talking about on LinkedIn, we do want to have a history of. I'm personally have never been a fan of the stuff on like of the stories on Snapchat, on especially Instagram and Facebook. I find them too instantaneous. They're great for adverts. So if you're advertising something which is temporary, it's great to put up there. But it's I find it too temporary. Also, the life cycle of what's happening. You have 24 hours on mediums like Facebook, for example, and Instagram. You have people knocking in every 2 days. So I'm not 100% story. I see they're following the trend, but I don't know. By the way, this little app here, free hour app, Zach Chapari, he's an entrepreneur here from Malta. Started up a student app, basically so that students can organize their schedule with their friends so they can see where their free hours doing very well for themselves. I think they have 20,000 downloads. If you are in the student market and watching this, check these guys out. So those were the main topics I wanted to touch on today. Oh, and I wanted to talk about Malta. Let me just go to my general LinkedIn profile. And I'm just going to refresh the page to see what comes up here. Let's just go over here. Yeah, so Malta. Lots of people are talking about Malta. And... oh, sorry. I'm just going to continue on this. Ben. Hi, Ben. Thank you very much for participating in the comment. I have various coins spread out. I've held since 2018. Still any on light. Basically, I got lazy and couldn't be bothered to deal with everything I got hold of. If you were me, what would you do? Is this the right place to ask questions? Yes. Okay. So the thing is, I'm not a trader. So first of all, I'm not a trader. Also, this is not financial advice. There is my declaration right there. If you've been holding since 2018, I would hold a little bit more. I've never been into holding plenty of cryptocurrencies. When we had that whole sprout of ICOs, in fact, I was going to do an ICO for Quizando, as you can see, our sponsor of this video. When we were going to do an ICO, we wanted to do an ICO which would see utility. Having too many tokens out there will create a little bit of confusion because obviously those tokens will value based on depends on the flow, how many people are using it. There's various different ways that the value of those would go up and down. I have always looked at it as having control of your own money. That was the most important thing. So, like for example, I buy Bitcoin. That's the one thing I like to buy, or even and some Ethereum. I buy these tokens so I can have control. I can actually take part of it. The banks are not charging me to hold on to my money, and I can utilize it when and where I wish to utilize it. That's I find is the most important thing with the token. Now, Stellar, these are all great stuff. They still haven't come to their fruition yet. Obviously, we saw that whole 2017 sort of bubble boom and then bust. We're about to go into a market which is about to change. I personally, as I said, I hold on to Bitcoin and Ethereum, the two major ones, and it's only because I want to be in control of my money. Also, there's those legal regulations that banks have. Like if I think it's in Malta, if you have more than 50,000 in your bank account, they're only responsible for up to 50,000, and then anything above that, they're not responsible for. So I would prefer having my money in somewhere that I know I'm responsible for it. I know a third party could come in and hack me and whatever, but I know the responsibility at the end of the day is mine. If a bank gets hacked, it's their responsibility, and they're only liable for up to a certain amount. So what would I do? I would hold on to them for the time being, unless you want to convert them around. If you're happy with the values that they're at, and convert them around to one of the other major cryptocurrencies. Remember, there is the Bitcoin halving happening rather soon, and with all that's happening in the market and the market's decline, that was actually another thing I want to bring up. The market's decline. Let me just bring that up on the screen there. This is Linus Belliunas. I follow him quite frequently on LinkedIn, and he gives fantastic insights into what's happening in the world of tech. As you can see, over the past couple of days, the markets are down again. The big four: Amazon, Apple, Google, Microsoft, all down. Facebook as well is down over there. Almost everything's down in the tech market. Where is this now? That's money going down because obviously there's an entire drop in what's happening in production, what's happening in China with the coronavirus. A couple of things going up, as you mentioned, like Zoom, because video conferencing is going up. But where was I going with this? Something like this, what's happening in the market right now, again, you're not in control of Bitcoin, but I have a feeling some of the money will be moving from some of these things out into other markets which are more stable. In fact, someone posted, and I can't remember who, that, for example, gold and Bitcoin are following the exact same pattern at the moment. So that might be something you want to take a look at if you're thinking of moving your money. But again, this is not financial advice. This is just what I'm sort of reading. If you disagree with me, by all means, let me know on that. But yeah, but I was going to go back to talk about Malta, so let me do that. By the way, sorry for the noise. I have some very annoying neighbors who have literally bought this building and all they're doing is drilling here. So they've made life very interesting. But yes, moving back on, let me remove that comment. Moving back on to Malta. So what's happening in Malta, blockchain and crypto? So as you know, we had the regulation come into force, I think it was beginning of 2019. Since we haven't seen much movement. In fact, there's been articles this week saying, is Malta still the blockchain island? And in fact, that's, I think, where they're moving to more. Because before, Malta was talking a lot about crypto, but now they're looking more at the technology. There has been some stumbling blocks, from what I understand, with the financial regulator over here. Banks and crypto are still atrocious. Malta's had some issues over there, but I know the authorities, what they're looking at the moment is the actual technology and certifying the technology. What we've seen, I think it was yesterday, there was 2 major hacks. I have to find the article. If you give me half a second, I will find it. There were 2 major hacks that occurred yesterday. There we are. This is the one I'm bringing up. Yeah, so let's bring that up on screen. Let's put that up over there. So this was actually posted by the Joshua, who happens to be my brother, about another bug he came across. This was reported in Cointelegraph, that the BZX was hacked twice in a matter of days, and it came up to 9. There was like losses of almost $1 million. Now, why is Malta looking at that? So just to clarify, Joshua is the chairman of the MDIA. And why are they looking at the technology and certifying the technology? Because the issue is, if you certify the technology and you certify the technology to be safe, it's going to cause for less of these issues happening. And that's what Malta, I think, is going to be focusing on over the coming year. It's making sure that you can get your blockchain project registered in Malta and registered as safe. That's the sort of angle they're taking on this. So you're going to have people who are going to look over this, certify it, and say, yes, this is a good project. So if I myself am looking at putting my money somewhere and say, oh, okay, is this on the Malta register? Yes, it is. Cool. Then it should be a safe project. Again, it's about instilling trust. So those are my thoughts on what's happening. That's essentially what's happening in Malta at the moment. When it comes down to blockchain, Bitcoin, will we see? I mean, the companies haven't moved. We still have Binance here. Chili's are doing fantastically well. One of the Malta startups who are in the blockchain scene, they're doing amazingly well. They're launching token after token with major clubs from around the world. I think their latest one they announced was, I'm not sure if it was Real or Barcelona or something like that, but they're doing fantastically well. Blockchain in Malta is here to stay, and it's going to be part of our ecosystem. Is it the blockchain island? Not exactly yet, but give it a little bit more time. It's almost there. I would still keep tabs on what's happening in Malta in this space. And I think that is all for today. Wow, that was a 23-minute live stream. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have any comments, please do leave them in the comments below. If you thought I was talking absolute bollocks, let me know. But thank you very much for watching this LinkedIn Live, this YouTube Live, and this Facebook Live. And I hope to be doing more of these, maybe a little bit more concise in the coming days. All right, guys, take care. Have a great one. This is Wesley signing out.